So even though we are a lot more qualified and skilled than a lot of other folks, we are just not able to tell our story really well and demand what we are worth for. Hi guys, I'm Priya from It's OKR and welcome back to our channel. If you're new today, It's OKR is a content platform for South Asian immigrants and we aim to educate, entertain and empower them. The topic for today is 6 mistakes to avoid as an immigrant job seeker. This particular article was done in partnership with Coach Aneri. She is an absolutely brilliant person and we've had the privilege to know her for the last year or so. She has helped multiple women land their first jobs, make sure that they upgrade themselves and find the next 6-figure job they're looking for and negotiate better salaries. So if you are at that stage in your career where you're feeling stuck or you've faced a lot of rejections, now might be a good time to seek help and understand if any of these services could be relevant for you. We will link all about Aneri in the description box, so if that is of interest, please go check it out. Let's continue with the topic for today and the 6 mistakes that you should be avoiding. But before we continue, please hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so that you get notified every time we post a video. You should switch to IT. IT is the only way to land a job in the US. You've only applied to 10 jobs? I applied for at least 500 and received rejections before I could get my first break. You know what? No one is selecting you because of your visa status. It's going to be really difficult to find a job. Have you thought of certifications? All of this sounds familiar, right? If you are in that stage where you are looking for a job and you have not had success, it's very common for people to recommend these things and ask you to move to IT or continue applying without a strategy and hoping for a different result. So today we are going to exactly touch on the fact that even though you have faced all of this, what are the steps that you can take that can actually help you get a different result rather than applying to all of these random jobs and then hoping that you land one somehow. The number one mistake that people make is waiting for their EAD to arrive before they begin their job search journey. So it's very natural for people to assume that since EADs take such a long time, let me first get my EAD before I figure out what the process is. But it's really important for you to know that when you have moved from a different country, here the job market is very different. The skills that are needed are very different. The process is very different. Actually, when you don't have your EAD and you're not in a rush or pressure to find your job, it's the perfect time for you to do that research. Identify your dream companies, identify your dream roles, and start reading about the kind of skills they need. What are the requirements for it? What is it that you need? Start talking to different kinds of people, and that's a good time for you to get familiar with the process. We also highly recommend that you start thinking about certain certifications or volunteering work to understand what the culture looks like. So it's a perfect time to start getting into the job field versus waiting for your EAD to apply. The second mistake is networking only when you need something. Have you been in a situation where you have sent a message saying, attached is my resume, please send me a referral, or please let me know if you have any jobs available in your company? That is a really cold way to send an email, and there is a high chance that you will not receive anything from the person who you've sent this to. If you don't know about me, I work at Google and I receive a lot of these messages on a daily basis. What I have done is curated a couple of great outreaches, and we will link that in the description box so that you have a starting point in terms of how to reach out to people. But the most important takeaway that you need to have from a networking perspective is be naturally curious to learn about the role, be authentic, try to learn more rather than just directly asking for something. Networking is always a two-way street, so you need to figure out what's the way that you can start partnering or reaching out to the other person. Number 3 is applying without a strategy. Basically, if you've been using one resume and applying to 500 different jobs and hoping to get a response, there is a high chance that you might not hear back from anyone. Employers here do not have the time and patience to connect the dots between your resume and the job role and then reach out. You have to instead be super succinct and make sure that you're tailoring your resume according to the job that you're applying to. But the golden rule here is the quantity of jobs do not matter. The quality of jobs and how you are applying matter the most. So really take the time to go through certain best practices in terms of like building your resume. We will link a couple of articles in the description box, so go check that out. But definitely try to tailor your resume to the job that you're applying to, and it doesn't matter the number of jobs you've applied to. If these are the right fits, there is a high chance that you will be hearing back from that employer. Number 4 is switching your career out of desperation because IT consultancy is the answer to all. That's not the case, because as a human being is going to spend around 90,000 hours of their life working on a job. So if you hate something or this is not something that you want to do for the rest of your life, there is a really high chance that you're going to be super miserable. You're not going to enjoy what you're doing. And no matter what people say that this is the only way to land a job, that's not the case. We know countless people who have been able to stick to their careers of choices and have been able to land a job. Yes, it definitely takes a little more time, a little more work in terms of upgrading your skills, like reaching out to different people, understanding what non-IT world looks like, but it's definitely possible. So don't just settle for an IT consultancy because you haven't landed something in a while. Try different things and just believe in yourself. It will happen. Number 5 is not seeking professional help. There are countless many career coaches out there, so it's natural for people to have those inhibitions in terms of whether I need a career coach. These are too expensive. Everyone else can land a job without help. Why do I need to invest in someone? That's not how we should be thinking about career coaches. In India, we never cared about paying for tuitions or seeking help. So why are we different now that we have moved to a different country? Most of the career coaches that we know and we work with have been through a similar journey. They have all received all of these rejections. They have been in the same shoes, and they have created a tailored strategy for people to land their jobs. It's not that by just hiring a career coach you will land a job, but they will give you tips and tricks that have helped countless number of people, and the whole experience is going to elevate yourself. We will link a couple of experiences of people who have worked with career coaches, but we also completely understand if that's not the route you want to take and you want to use the hit and trial method, which also absolutely is okay. Just don't give up and don't hesitate to reach out for professional help if you have been trying everything and nothing is working for you. The last one is short selling yourself in the salary discussion. This happens more often than not because you have been through this desperate job search journey, and when you finally land a job, you're just like, I want this journey to end, give me whatever and I will be happy with it. Anyway, it's my first job in the US, so I need to start from the scratch. Trust us, that's not the same. We've spoken to so many people, and people take 2 to 3 years to realize that the job that they accepted was not their true worth. What definitely happens with a lot of South Asians who move here is we are not that good at telling our story or marketing ourselves. So even though we are a lot more qualified and skilled than a lot of other folks, we are just not able to tell our story really well and demand what we are worth for. So next time when you're negotiating your salary, definitely do your research. There are countless websites from Glassdoor to Indeed that give you a good benchmark in terms of what the salary looks like. So do that research and be bold to make that ask. Just because you have finally landed a job does not mean that you need to settle. Again, we will link a couple of resources that might help you understand how to negotiate your salary successfully and the tools that you can access to understand the benchmark for the roles that you're looking for. To wrap it up, you guys, please take the help that you need. If you're not comfortable like paying someone to get access to these resources, please do your own research through all of the information that's available on the internet. But remember, we are rooting for you, we are cheering for you, and if things are not going your way, remember, it's okay. Till next time. Please like, share and subscribe if you like our content, and leave comments in the description box. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, bye.